Hey everyone, welcome to Drama Mama Presents Work It Wednesday. I hope you like the super high tech graphic that I have for us. So yes, Drama Mama Presents Work It Wednesday with Carmen Moses, and that's me. So I'm not going to show you my face today because it's mostly going to be hands, and I haven't mastered the camera angle thing without taking you guys for a camera ride when I'm moving it. So. You will get this likeness of me holding, the traditional Shakespearean skull, to be or not to be and such. So just to tell you a little bit more about me, I am Miss Carmen. I'm the drama teacher. I'm the director of performing arts at Justin Norman School of the Arts. I'm also a visual artist, a homeschool teacher, a homeschool art teacher, a photographer, a graphic designer, and a bunch of other stuff. So if you have any questions about anything related to any of these topics, I'll be happy to answer them. If you have any questions during the live video, please just, comment and send me what you got, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Just to give you some information about our new lineup for Drama Mama Presents, as soon as I can find my eraser. Where's my eraser? All right, well, we're going to go with this then. My eraser has run off. So the way the schedule is going to work in the coming weeks, we're going to have Monologue Monday. And speaking of Monologue Monday, be sure to check out the online Monologue Festival presented by the Augusta Players and sponsored by many of our favorite local theater groups, including the Justin Norman School of the Arts, the Shat, and many others. So check those out. Just to give you a little bit of information about the online Monologue Festival, it's going to be the first annual virtual Monologue Festival, and it's super easy. You don't have to memorize it. You just record yourself delivering a monologue, and then there are prizes and all sorts of good stuff. So check it out. If you go to the Facebook, hashtag OMG. I forgot I have visual aid. Hashtag OMG on Facebook. You can get some more information about the online monologue festival. And then let's see here. You can upload your monologue video to YouTube and save it and send them the link. So that's at OMG Festival info. Oh, my handwriting's terrible. OMG Festival IVALINFO at Gmail. So don't forget about that. I'm working on some stuff myself. I haven't decided on a monologue. I've looked at quite a couple. You can also check out instantmonologues.com, theaterfolk.com, or dramanotebook.com. And all those links are on the OMG Festival website. So we will get rid of this. All right, so we'll have Monologue Monday. Tech Tuesday, we will be talking about anything technical. If I haven't finished from Monday, then it will be to continue Tuesday, but we're going to do Tech Tuesday. And today is Work It Wednesday. And Work It Wednesday is going to be all about costumes and props and how we can work it and make it fabulous. And then Thursday, of course, is going to be Throwback Thursday. So we're going to learn about drama history and all sorts of good stuff from the way back. Throwback Thursday. And then Friday will be Freestyle Friday or Finish It Friday. And Freestyle Friday is just a chance to work on some other things, some visual art projects, just to kind of see some of the other things that we do. The great thing about working at the Justin Norman School of the Arts with all of these wonderful artsy folks is that everyone is multi-talented, and we all are not just one type of artistic animal. We're actually many type of artistic animals. So Freestyle Friday is going to be a chance for me to show you guys kind of some of the other stuff I do. But yes, so that is our brand new lineup: Monologue Monday, Tech Tuesday, Work It Wednesday, Throwback Thursday, and Freestyle Friday. All right. So put on your favorite music and let's get started. Like to clean. It's funny, I don't like to clean, but I also do like to clean. It's very strange. All right, so we'll get that tidier later. All right, so we're going to put our whiteboard away for right now. Feel free to ask questions in the middle of the session. I'll be happy to answer them for you. So what we are going to do today, let me grab a piece of paper. Grab a blank piece of paper here, and we are going to be making this amazing plague mask redo makeover. So I like to go to the Halloween stores and just get random stuff. So maybe things I might not use for costume, but things I think might be interesting in a play or for a photo shoot or something. So I found this kind of plain little plague mask, and I'm like, okay, it's pretty cool. It's been hanging around in my room, in my office for a couple of years now. And the more that I've learned about materials and bedazzling and decorating and upcycling and recycling old things, I think I'm kind of at the point where I want to do something cool with this mask. So we're going to go through the process today of stripping it down and repainting. And also, we're going to be doing a little show and tell of some other props. And I like to work on multiple projects at once. So while this is drying, we'll probably go back to our glass dome rhinestoning. But it's going to be a fun time. So like I said, go ahead and get your favorite music on. Let's watch. All right, so the first thing I like to do before I start any kind of project like this is to just pre-visualize what I want. So we're gonna put that away. We're gonna get out our trusty drawing kit, and you guys are gonna be so proud of me. Nice, nothing's falling out. It looks fabulous. All right, so let's see here. Let's get my favorite pencil. This is my favorite pencil. It is a Faber-Castell TK9 9400 clutch pencil. It sounds super fancy, but it's just a really cool pencil. So I'm going to use that real quick. And we've discussed sketching before, and you want to sketch lightly. And your sketches are not supposed to look like amazing finished products. They're really just supposed to communicate to either another artist that you're working with, your costume designer, or just to communicate with yourself the general gist of things. Now, sketching can be as detailed as you want to make it, so it's really up to you. But I just like to go for the, I don't want to say the minimum, but just the minimum that is necessary to communicate. So I'm going to take a look at my mask here, set it up so I can draw it. As you can see, I have a very loose grip. I don't want to do a super technical drawing. Just the general gist of what I'm looking for. Now, while I'm sketching, also don't forget about our academic support. We have live academic support through our JNSA academic support group. And we have tutors in every subject. So if you're having any issues with your distance learning or just trying to remember what it was that you learned in math in 6th grade so you can help your kid out, please seek us out. We'll be happy to help you. You don't have to be part of the Jesse Norman School for us to help out. All right, so we've got our mask just about drawn. Pre-visualization, pre-visualization, hello. Pre-visualization is extremely important when you are doing any kind of artistic process, with keeping in mind that it's not always going to be exactly like you drew it or exactly like you imagined it. All right, so we have our mask just about drawn here. I'm going to get marker, make those lines a little bit bolder so we can see them. So now that we've got the sketch down, should be able to see that a little bit better. Actually, this beak is a little bit longer. Okay. All right, so we have our mask. Hi, Mackenzie. Yay! When I tell you guys I miss you, I miss my students so much. I just cannot wait to go back. Can't wait to go back to school. I don't always see everybody, but whenever I'm doing dismissal, I get to see everybody. So I miss you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you're just joining us, we are working on this plague mask makeover. So we're gonna make this kind of junky old Halloween mask into something that looks super spectacular and expensive on our Work It Wednesday. All right, so I have our basic sketch of our mask, and now I want to start thinking about color, embellishments, process, etc., etc. So we have, forgot to add, we have our ribbon here, or our elastic. So I'm actually going to be cutting that elastic off and refitting it with either a ribbon or some new elastic. Again, we just want to make something ordinary look extraordinary. And sketching is super important to me. Hi, Gabby. Oh, I miss you guys so much. I'm going to try not to tear up. If you guys haven't been checking out the main page, there was a video that we posted. Our dancers took part in the Dance for Kindness Worldwide Flash Mob in 2019. And they're in the video quite a bit, and every time I saw them pop up, I just started crying. I was just like, my babies, I miss them. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, check out this video. It's really kind of heartwarming, especially with all the stuff that we're kind of going through lately. Just to see people all over the world dancing together to the same beat is really nice. So check that out if you haven't already. Let's see here. Just kind of looking. I think people take for granted just the looking at an object that you're going to transform or that you're going to work on. I take a long time and just examine every little detail, examine the materials, examine the construction, because we always want to jump straight into whatever we're doing. But taking the time to study and reflect is really, really important in any craft. So I'll put that there, and I think this is pretty good. So I'm going to get some, let's see here. Do I want to use my colored pencils? What am I feeling today? All right, let's see if I have the colors I want. Look, that side's organized too. Be proud of me. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if I have a black coloring pencil, which I believe I do. I've got a black one there. And kind of want to do a little bit of gray, a little silver. Okay, I'm going to get some markers out as well. So we're going to put our drawing kit to the side here. And let's see what interesting marker situations I have here. All right, so I've got these Prismas in different shades of gray, and I think that's probably going to be the thing I need the most right now. So we'll go with that. All right, and again, not always organized. I like to just dump everything out. So let's see here. I'm thinking I have this silver paint and I have this gold paint. So if anyone has a super strong opinion, like paint it gold, paint it silver, let me know. I'll be happy to oblige. I'm still kind of on the fence here. I love silver. Silver to me seems to match with more. But this would also look really, really wicked in gold. So I'll let you guys think about that. If anybody has a vote on whether I should go silver or gold. If not, I'm going to choose randomly a little bit later. Okay, so here we go. So I know, let's see here. Let's start with the gray. I think I'm going to start with gray. And I am using a 90% French gray Prismacolor. I don't know if you can see that. So Prismas are really good. I love the grayscale Prismas. So now I want to start off with a little bit of gray. And this is a super textured paper, so as you can see, it's not laying down completely flat. I like to use this just for quick sketching. And that texture is really interesting. If you're ever using textured paper while you're drawing, you can create some really interesting effects that way. All right, the girls say gold. All right, well then I gotta go gold then. So we are going to repaint this in gold. Now I know I have a gold marker around here somewhere. I've been saying that I was going to give everyone a tour of my studio, but today is not that day because it is a little messy. Let me see if I have a gold marker somewhere. Well, I do not, but we can use other colors to represent our gold. So let's get our drawing kit back out, our organized drawing kit, and we're going to represent gold with this sort of yellow color today. And again, it's not going to be a super beautiful sketch. All you want to do is just communicate what you want to see or what you want to accomplish. So your sketches are not very likely to get into a museum anytime soon, unless you really want them to. Sharpen up our pencil here with our cute little snowman sharpener. I don't even know where I get these things from. I'm a school supply nut. I love having lots of artistic supplies. All right, so I'm just kind of pre-visualizing. I'm just sketching what I want to see, and I know that I want mass to be gold. I've also got some cool looking rhinestones. Y'all know how I feel about rhinestones. I'm actually out of one of my colors of rhinestones, so I have to see if I can order some more. I'm gonna switch the track here. Well, the track's in my ear. Let's see here, Nina Simone. I'm gonna listen to some Nina Simone. Let me know what your favorite music is. Talk to me. It's lonely in quarantine, or isolation. And this is a much bigger version of what I would normally do for a sketch, just so you guys can see it a little bit clearer. Normally, if I'm going to sketch something this simple, I probably wouldn't do a sketch that's more than like maybe this big in my sketchbook, but I want you guys to see it nice and clear. And then on the mask, there's like this kind of mesh material. I do think I want to keep that. I will take it off while we're sanding and painting, but I think I kind of like the way that looks. So we will need like a smaller drawing pin. So I'm just going to kind of do a little crosshatch here for my mesh, because I know I want that in my final product. And your sketch is also a good place to take some notes. So, boop. So elastic, remove elastic, replace, keep the mesh as part of the plan, gold paint. Yeah, so if you're ever working in your sketchbook and you're sketching out a prop or something like that, remember your sketchbook is for you. It's not for public consumption, unless you want it to be, but it doesn't have to be for public consumption. So as you're sketching, communicate to yourself. You're not communicating to everyone else. You'll communicate to everyone else when you're done making your prop. So this is what I'm hoping for, something really shiny and pretty, and then maybe We'll get some like rhinestones around the border. Whenever I'm working on something, there's always like half planning, half improvisation. So you might see a little bit of that. Okay. All right. So we're going to put this to the side. And remember, that's kind of what we're going for. Very, very rough sketch of what we're going for. And let's get started. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, I have a sanding block that has been well used. I forgot that all of my tools are still in my classroom, so I was struggling to find some sandpaper, but I found the sanding block that I've used for ceramics before, but ideally I'd want a clean piece of paper. Make sure if you're sanding anything at all that you have something to cover your face with. I'm not sure what the exact safety standards are. I usually just try to get away with a bandana if I can't find a mask. So got a little something over our face, and then I'm going to start sanding off this yucky cracked paint. As you can see, it's just coming off. So we're going to be at this for a couple minutes. I like going live, but it would be super fun if I could just fast forward this part for you guys. Or if you're one of those people that just like, you like satisfying sounds, maybe that is the sandpaper is a satisfying sound to you. I have a couple friends that probably disagree with that, though. I have a friend who hated the sound of styrofoam, so I would scratch styrofoam around him every time I could, which is not nice, and don't do that. And my computer is telling me it has a low battery, so let me get that plugged in before I lose you guys. Okay. All right, so as we can see, the black's starting to come off as we're sanding it, so we're going to be at this for quite a few minutes. This would be much easier with a nice clean piece of sanding paper, so you always want to make sure you have your supplies that you need on hand. Hardware store is about 20 minutes, actually like 10 minutes away. So I'll have to grab some. And sanding does a couple things. It removes anything that's still there. It also gives you a rough surface to paint on. Because if we were to paint on this shiny surface, it probably wouldn't work super well. Now, as you're working on a prop and as you're or a mask or costume piece, pay attention to the way the materials respond. Because right now I'm noticing that this sanding is actually creating a really interesting effect. So I may want to consider that in my final in my final presentation of the mask. Maybe I can paint and resand or something to kind of make this look a little bit more worn, or we could make it look super shiny, brand new, and expensive. So these are things to think about while you are working on anything costume or prop related. Yeah, we're definitely getting some interesting textures. Just looking at it now, it looks like it's been through some stuff, which is actually pretty cool. If we were going for something super rugged and post-apocalyptic, a little bit of sandpaper can go a long way and create a lot of effects. I have quite a few masks in this room that I would like to I would like to redo. Again, that I've just kind of picked up at a Halloween store or at Goodwill when they have their Halloween stuff out. So you don't always have to buy everything brand new. You can always get something used, and just with a little creativity and a little artistic know-how, and a whole lot of YouTube tutorials or videos like this, you'll be able to make things look spectacular in no time. All right, so we are getting there. Well, one thing I did forget is I always take off anything kind of extra. This is like the little nose piece, or the forehead piece, and I want to kind of take off everything that is not this main mask part. So I did forget to do that, so we'll do that right now. That way we just have the mask itself to work with. Let me take off this little sticker. And we're probably not going to do a whole lot to the inside, but I still want to leave that option open. So here we are. Do a little bit more sanding. And I would definitely recommend sandpaper over the sanding block, just because you kind of get into, I feel like you can get into those crevices a little bit better with sandpaper. But that honestly just depends on your preference as well. So find out what materials you like to use. This is the fun part. You might want to go grab a sandwich or something. It'll take a minute. And while you're with me, if you have any questions that you think we can answer on air, I do have. I'm lining up some guest stars right now to come and co-host with me. Or when I say come and co-host, I mean do it online, so we're not breathing on each other. So I've got friends who are prop makers and makeup artists and all sorts of things. So if you think of anything that you might want to ask them, I'm going to be collecting questions soon. So for our upcoming shows. Right, we're getting there. All right, and remember the sanding is to rough up the surface so it will take the paint a little bit better, and it's also to strip anything else that might have been there before. If there's a different way that you prefer, or a better way, please let me know. I learn just as much from my students and other people as I hope that people learn from me. So I'm never opposed to a new technique. And if there's something you're like, oh, you don't have to use sandpaper, you can use blah, blah, blah. I'll be happy to try that. I read one time that you only grow old when you stop learning, or something like that. I know I'm misquoting it, but that's kind of my life philosophy. Is I like to absorb information wherever it's coming from. I think that's probably about as good as it's going to get, unless I am just going to stay at it for a few hours, and I'm not. All right. Okay, so we have our mask pretty much sanded down. There's still a couple of shiny spots, but for the most part, it's nice and rough, and we've taken off a pretty good bit of the shiny black paint. So there's a couple different things that you can do here. You can do just a coat of spray paint. You can hand paint if you're trying to go for a particular texture, or if you don't have spray paint or can't breathe it in. Just giving it like a good wipe down here. And wiping it down, you can see that some of the parts are still a little shiny. So I'm going to hit those again real quick. Okay. All right, we're just wiping off all of that dust. Probably getting here with a little vacuum cleaner. Yeah, we definitely don't want to breathe any of this in. All sorts of plastic and whatever was on that sanding block before. Whoop. Butterfingers. Not going to do anything with the inside just yet. I actually might line the inside, but I'm not sure. Again, 50% stick with the sketch, 50% improv. All right, so we are here now. And we are going to take our gold paint and a palette, which I thought I brought one up here. I knew I had one. All right, so we've got our palette, our gold paint. Get the seal off here. All right, and we're just gonna, pardon my yucky paint noises there. All right, so we're just gonna splat quite a bit because I feel like we're gonna use quite a bit. And let's get our brushes. Now, where did I put my brushes? See, I promise I prepare for these things. All right, cool. I'm just a messy worker, which I will get better at, I promise. All right, so I have just it's like a 1-inch brush, nothing super fancy. Just giving it one more check, make sure I don't have any yucky particles on it. And I'm just going to go for it. Now, more than likely, we're going to have to do 2 or 3 coats. This is just a folk art metallic gold acrylic paint, so there's nothing super special about this paint. Now, if you're looking for like a quick full coverage, spray paint is also a really good way to go. There's something about just kind of the tactility of painting something. So if I'm not trying to do something really, really quickly, I'd rather just kind of paint it myself. But it's all just your taste and your needs and what you're going for in the end. So this is going to take, I'd say, like 2 or 3 coats. I do kind of like the way that some of the black is showing through, and it's making it look kind of worn. So we could probably even go sort of steampunky with this, which I've got some little gears and things that we can probably add. Like I had them in mind, and I'm like, maybe I'll add the gears, but I wasn't sure until I started seeing it, seeing the way the gold paint looks, and it looks really cool. I do have a tendency to change my mind a lot whenever I'm working on something. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's probably not a good thing. Or maybe it's the flexibility that's good. Okay, and get right up in there in the little beaky. So my daughter would probably say it, the beaky. She turns 9 today. I'm so proud of her. She's just becoming really, really just a great person. Really great kid. So if anyone has a birthday coming up soon and wants me to wish them happy birthday, I'll be happy to do that as well. So after this broadcast is probably going to be cake and board game time. and I'll sneak back into my office to work after everyone's asleep. All right, so here's our first coat, and that's already looking pretty phenomenal. I'm pleasantly surprised with just what we've been doing, like maybe 20 minutes of work, and we've already got something pretty cool looking. Now, keep in mind as well when you're working on a prop or a costume, keep your audience in mind as well. If I'm going to be like at a costume party where people are going to be really close to me, I want to make sure all these details are impeccable. If I'm if I'm going to be on stage and, like I said, it's a quick turnaround, um, you just want to pass the 10-foot test. Does it look good from 10 feet away? Does it look good from your audience perspective? So since your audience may be, depending on the theater, if your audience is higher than you want to make sure that everything up top looks nice. And honestly, you want to make sure everything looks nice, but sometimes time constraints or the use or reuse of your prop, like if it's just for like a one-time thing, um, and it's probably going to fall apart afterwards, I probably wouldn't put too much effort into it. But if it's something that you want to last or you anticipate using a lot of, you want to make it look as nice as possible. And I wish this would hurry up and dry because I want to keep painting it. So we're going to put this to the side for right now. Let me find a nice place for it to dry where it will not ruin anything else. So I'm going to put this up for just a second. Y'all hang tight. All right. So we are going to let that dry. I'm going to put my paint to the side. It shouldn't dry too much, but if you think there's going to be a long interval with acrylic paint, you definitely want to get covered up to use it again. And wash out your brushes. It's like the one thing I fight with my students the most about when we're painting sets. Wash your brushes. Hey, Steph. All right, so the next part of the day, since we have about 20 minutes left, I'm going to do a little bit of show and tell. I'm going to show you some props that we've been working on, some cool stuff from the desk, and then we're going to get back to rhinestoning our glass dome. So again, I like to work on multiple projects at once. While one's drying, you're knocking out another one. So let's see here. Actually working on a cosplay right now for Ursula, Under the Sea, and my sister Isabel has been working on this amazing trident. So I wanted to show this to you guys because this is really cool. This is a broom handle, some really thick twigs from outside, a whole lot of duct tape, and some tin foil to make it look kind of corally. So I want to show you guys this today because I'm super proud of my sister. She did a really great job on it. She sometimes helps me make props and little costume elements. So it's not quite done yet. We are actually going to we spray painted these gold shells. So again, these are things you could probably find at the dollar store if you're not living at the beach and can just pick them up. And we are going to embellish this with shells and some rope and some other cool stuff. So once that's done, I'll be happy to show you guys. But I wanted to show you this awesome prop work. And again, it's going to look really good from the stage. Like I said, that tin foil, it's not something you would normally think of when you're thinking about a trident, but it did give it like this really cool sort of corally texture. So I wanted to show you guys that real quick because it's awesome. Give a shout out to my sister there. All right. Put that to the side. Some more will not get damaged. And we're going to, let's see what else is on my desk. I actually did find this that I was pretty excited about. This is one of those like kind of more realistic Barbie dolls, but I literally doubled back to the store just because she had my hair. I was like, man, I really want that doll. So she sits in my craft bag and hangs out with me. So that's my little mini me. Got some other projects that I'll be doing here soon. This is a little ceramic piano that's it doesn't look too bad. It's actually pretty cute, but I think we can make it look even better. So I will be painting and bejeweling, bedazzling, making this fancy at some point. I would ask what color we want, but I think the girls are going to say gold again. So I thought about pink too. I think it would be cute to have a little pink piano on my desk. All right. Well, while we're waiting on our paint to dry, I'm going to go ahead and get out this glass dome, and we're going to go back into our rhinestoning. Haven't had a chance to make too much progress on it from last time, but we'll just talk about what we did last time and continue. So if you can see that, we have some dry erase marker marks on the inside that we've been following with our little stream of rhinestone. So we're going to kind of continue that a little bit. We're going to rhinestone a little bit more, and then we'll check on our mask, and then that should be it for today. Probably work on the mask a little bit more tomorrow, and then go back into our Throwback Thursday. Okay, and again, we have our rhinestone dotting pen, our E6000 or the Gorilla Glue equivalent this time, and of course our rhinestones. And my little ceramic plate. Steph, you gave this to me, remember? Okay. I'll throw some rhinestones down in there. We're going to keep on dotting our rhinestones on our glass dome. This is a project that's probably going to take some time. So I'll be working on it kind of periodically, unless I've just, really caffeinated and I'll finish the whole thing in one night. But either way, I'll film it so you guys can see the process. All right, let's get our glue. Sure we got good glue flow. The glue does form a skin pretty easily, so want to make sure it's nice and open. So I'm just trying to get my glue going. Come on, glue. Come on, glue. It's being super difficult. Are we going? What are we doing, glue? I have to edit out this glue fiasco in post-production. Not that we have post-production, but I'm still working on that. I've been trying to teach myself the After Effects program, which there's some really great tutorials out there. What I think anytime I want to learn something is, you know what, it's 2020, new millennium. There's no excuse not to be able to learn or know something. You just gotta go out and seek it. All right, glue. Don't make me get fussy. All right, I think we got a little bit of glue flow going now. Maybe. My rhinestone got stuck. Okay. All right, glue. There we go. All right, and we are just finishing up this line. And we're going to add some more swirl and sparkle to it. And I'm working on gathering some materials up for our actual rose prop. I've got a few things. I'm looking at a few methods because we are going to build the rose, the whole mechanism, hopefully here on live. Oh no, I lost a rhinestone. Come back. All right. Finishing up the line I didn't finish up the other day. And also just an FYI, with these pens, these little wax tips are replaceable. So once you've worn one out, you can just replace it with another one. You can also just use like a wax crayon or something, like one of the ones that you use for like resisting watercolor. So yeah, cool stuff. I've used this for 2 or 3 projects already, so they do last a while, depending on the size of your project. So we've got that side done. I kind of want to change up the size a little bit of the scroll. A, because it's going to be really hard to get them to match, and B, just for visual interest. So I'm going to go over here and start this other scroll. And remember that this is just a dry erase marker, so that will come off really easy. And we do it on the inside so that we can make good contact with our rhinestones on the outside. Alright, I'm going to change my music track. I got my music in my ear. I could just do this for hours. So if you, I actually just got our co-director Steph into rhinestoning. I'm like, I told you this is amazing. This is super zen. You can just sit here and do this for a while. Put some music on. Put a movie on. Next thing you'll know, you have a whole project rhinestone. She's actually working with the Hotfix rhinestones. I have not used Hotfix rhinestones before, so I think that'll be my next project. I've been just using the tap and glue. Okay, just going around this loop, waiting for our mask to dry. Pretty excited about that project. Oh, got a stowaway. Someone who's kind of started in visual arts and then kind of gotten into drama. I'm more kind of fascinated by the creative aspects of all the physical stuff. So creating and designing sets or creating props, like that's probably where I'm happiest. I like to be in the background, kind of like the silent puppet master, making things work. So I tend to stay in the tech booth a lot when we're doing productions because I like to make sure that nothing goes wrong, and I like to I'd rather be the mastermind than the star. Not that I don't enjoy being in the spotlight. It's just not my favorite. I like seeing what other people are doing with their props as well. The Augusta players um, visit and rehearse at the Jesse Norman School, and whenever they load in their props, I always take my kids to go see them. I'll be like, all right, guys, don't touch anything at all. This does not belong to us, but look at how well this stuff is made. Um, so I love it when they load their props in because then I can kind of peek and be nosy. It's like the equivalent of like putting on makeup for me. You know how there's like this joke that if you're putting on mascara, you can't do it with your mouth closed. So like sometimes I'm just finding my mouth is like hanging open. So I'm just so focused on whatever little thing it is that I'm doing. And I'm going to erase a little bit of that top part so I can see a little bit better. All right, I'm digging the shape. I'm actually going to curl in a little bit. I want to make it a little bit swirlier. I think if when you're making props or you're making any kind of art, there should always be a good balance between pre-planning and improvising. Um, it's really easy to get caught up in the it didn't go the way I wanted to, so it's a failure. I'm done with it. Um, but you'd be surprised sometimes in our mistakes we can come up with some really cool stuff. Like, oh, that was a mistake, but now I know that this particular pencil will do this if you work it this way. Or I know that this glue, when it dries, it looks really cool, so I can dry some glue and then paint over it to make an effect. I had a friend once, and he used it's like this kind of foam sealant. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know because I don't remember what it's called. It's like this expandable foam stuff that comes in a can, and he sprayed a bunch of that on a plank of wood, and then put Halloween masks in it, and then painted the whole thing red, and it looked like something out of a horror movie. It was the coolest thing I think I've ever seen. So I'm pretty sure that someone had to have sprayed the stuff somewhere and gone, hey, that kind of looks like this, and then gotten the idea that way. So there's really no limit to what you can do and what materials you can use. And when I say no limit, if it's toxic, I probably not going to be too happy about using it. But you can find some really cool stuff just at like the hardware store. Like hardware stores for me are just like they're right up there with craft stores. I can spend hours in either one. Actually, if you look at my studio, it looks like I shop pretty heavily at both hardware and craft stores because there's like craft materials and then there's wood and tools and all sorts of stuff. Probably go up to the school at some point and grab my toolboxes and get them nice and reorganized and inventoried so I can see what I have. If you get a rhythm going, you can set down a lot of rhinestones um, in a single session. I'm listening to my 90s music right now in my ear. Got Alanis Morissette going. I was listening to NSYNC the other day. Please don't judge me, but I was doing it. I was listening to NSYNC while I was cleaning my office because there's just something kind of poppy and upbeat and nostalgic about it. Listening to a little bit of Backstreet Boys too. I don't discriminate. I like all of my 90s boy bands. Come on, Glue. All right, there we go. I'll just keep my little rag nearby so I can pull off any dried glue. It does dry kind of quickly. Not too quickly to where you can't reposition it quickly, but it still dries quick enough. Okay. We're just continuing our scroll work on our scroll work, not squirrel work. Scroll work on our glass dome. We'll be working on this prop in the weeks to come, and then once we kind of get the outside decorator there, once we figure out the mechanism for the falling rose, we'll start working on that as well. When it comes to our productions, I don't like to get pre-made props if I can help it. I like to see what the kids can do, and I like to challenge myself as well. So when I see something, I want to dissect it and figure out how to make it myself. So this is going to be quite an adventure making this rose with the falling petals, but I think we can do it. I think probably the most thing that we get pre-done is going to be very, very specific costume pieces, but along with Delia, our homeschool coordinator, she's also one of my costumers, and we tend to do a lot of things from scratch, and they're always like super spectacular. We've got a really great team at Just Normal School. We got Kia too that helps me with sewing machines and sewing questions. Super fashionable lady. If you're out there, guys, I miss you. I'm ready for the next staff meeting just so I can see your faces. I think any more cabin fever, and I'm just going to print out pictures of all my coworkers' faces and put it on various stuffed animals and have my own staff meetings. That would make a really, really interesting story. I'll have to do a one woman play on that. All right, I think that's where we're going to stop for today. We'll do a little bit more scroll work in the interim. So just to kind of review what we got accomplished today, we worked a little bit more on our beautiful Beauty and the Beast glass dome. And let's take a look at our mask here. Our mask is still a little bit wet, so we're going to have to let it dry for a few more hours here, and then we'll put on another coat of paint. I'll kind of show you the progress on it tomorrow, and go from there. So we'll put that back up, put our glass dome back up in the styrofoam, and let those rhinestones dry a little bit. Yeah, super fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and clean up all of this stuff now. Also, don't forget about the online monologue festival. If you're interested, check out the online monologue festival Facebook. We have it shared on our main page, and that will take you to the webpage and submissions and rules and prizes and all that good stuff. Yep, and also don't forget about our academic support. So if you need help with your distance learning, if you have no clue what the newfangled math is or anything like that, please seek us out. We have tutors every day and on the weekends. But anyways, super fun again. Thank you so much for tuning into Work It Wednesday and our prop making demonstration. So I will see you guys tomorrow with some more drama and art content. Stay tuned. Coming up is Mary, Dance Fitness with Mary. So much energy, super fun. So if you haven't got a chance to check out Dance Fitness, let me know, and I will point you in the right direction, which is that way. Go to the page. And then we've got visual art with Ham. So great lineup as usual. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.